A company that started as a joke now shapes how elections, money, and reality itself work. What if I told you that one of the most powerful companies on Earth started with a college student trying to rate his classmates' attractiveness? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible, controversial, and absolutely wild story of Meta, the company that connects nearly 3 billion people every single day. From a Harvard dorm room to a trillion-dollar empire, from Facebook to the metaverse, this is the story of how Mark Zuckerberg built one of the most influential companies in human history. Our story begins in 2003 at Harvard University. Mark Zuckerberg, a sophomore computer science student, creates a website called FaceMash. The concept? Students could compare photos of their classmates and vote on who was more attractive. Controversial? Absolutely. But it crashed Harvard's servers from sheer traffic and got Zuckerberg in serious trouble. But here's where it gets interesting. Zuckerberg saw something nobody else did. People were hungry for digital connection. On February 4th, 2004, he launches the Facebook from his dorm room in Kirkland House. Within 24 hours, over 1,000 Harvard students had signed up. Within a month, more than half the undergraduate population was on it. The growth was explosive. By the end of 2004, Facebook had expanded to Yale, Columbia, and Stanford. Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard and moved to Palo Alto, California, famously renting a house where the team worked around the clock. This wasn't just a college project anymore. This was a revolution. Peter Thiel, co-founder of PayPal, became Facebook's first major investor in 2004, putting in $500,000 for a 10% stake. That investment would eventually be worth billions. By 2005, Facebook had 5 million users. By 2006, 12 million. The hockey stick growth was undeniable. In September 2006, Facebook made a pivotal decision. They opened registration to anyone over 13 with a valid email address. No longer just for college students, Facebook was now for everyone, and everyone joined. By the end of 2007, they had 50 million users and a valuation of $15 billion. Mark Zuckerberg, at just 23 years old, was running one of the hottest tech companies on the planet. But Zuckerberg wasn't content with just Facebook. He had a vision to own the entire social media ecosystem, and he was willing to pay big to make it happen. In 2012, Facebook made its first massive move. For $1 billion, a price that made headlines everywhere, they acquired Instagram. At the time, people thought Zuckerberg was crazy. Instagram had only 13 employees and 0 revenue. But Zuckerberg saw the future: mobile photography and visual storytelling. Today, Instagram has over 2 billion users and generates tens of billions in revenue annually. That crazy billion-dollar bet? Absolute genius. But the shopping spree didn't stop there. In 2014, Facebook dropped a bombshell that shook the entire tech industry. They acquired WhatsApp for $19 billion, the largest acquisition of a venture-backed company in history at that time. $19 billion for a messaging app. Critics called it insane. But look at the numbers. WhatsApp had 450 million users then. Now it has over 2 billion. It's the dominant messaging platform in over 180 countries. In India alone, over 400 million people use WhatsApp daily. Facebook didn't just buy an app, they bought global communication infrastructure. The same year, Facebook also acquired Oculus VR for $2 billion. Most people scratch their heads at this one. Why would a social media company buy a virtual reality headset maker? Zuckerberg's answer was simple. He was betting on the future. He believed that VR would be the next major computing platform, and he wanted Facebook to lead that revolution. These weren't just acquisitions. This was strategic chess at the highest level. Zuckerberg was building a moat around his empire, controlling how billions of people communicate, share, and connect. Instagram for photos, WhatsApp for messaging, Facebook for social networking, and Oculus for the future. It was a masterclass in tech consolidation. But with great power comes great scrutiny. As Facebook grew, so did the controversies. 2016 was a turning point. Facebook found itself at the center of election interference allegations. Russian operatives had allegedly used the platform to spread misinformation and influence the U.S. presidential election. Suddenly, Facebook wasn't just a fun place to share photos. It was a weapon in information warfare. Then came Cambridge Analytica in 2018. The data of 87 million Facebook users had been harvested without consent and used for political advertising. The scandal exploded globally. Mark Zuckerberg was called to testify before Congress. People watched as lawmakers grilled him for hours, asking questions that sometimes showed they barely understood how the internet worked. "Senator, we run ads," became an instant meme. But the damage was real. The hashtag #DeleteFacebook movement gained momentum. Trust in the platform plummeted. Governments around the world started asking serious questions about privacy, data protection, and the power of big tech. The controversies kept coming. Accusations of monopolistic behavior, antitrust investigations in the U.S. and Europe, concerns about mental health impacts, especially on teenagers, whistleblowers coming forward with internal documents showing Facebook knew about harmful effects but prioritized engagement over safety. By 2021, Facebook was facing an existential crisis. Their core platform was losing younger users to TikTok. Regulators were circling. Public opinion was turning. Something had to change. On October 28, 2021, Mark Zuckerberg made the boldest move of his career. In a keynote presentation that would reshape the company's entire identity, he announced that Facebook was changing its name to Meta. This wasn't just a rebrand. It was a complete, strategic pivot. Zuckerberg wasn't just running a social media company anymore. He was building the metaverse, a shared virtual environment where people could work, play, socialize, and live parallel digital lives. The vision was ambitious. Imagine putting on a VR headset and stepping into a digital world where you could attend concerts, hold business meetings, hang out with friends from across the globe, or explore infinite virtual spaces, all feeling present and real. This was the future Zuckerberg was betting everything on. Meta poured billions into reality labs. Their division focused on AR and VR technology. We're talking over $10 billion a year. They developed the Quest headsets, which became the best-selling VR devices on the market. They worked on Horizon Worlds, their social VR platform. They even developed haptic gloves that let you feel virtual objects. But the transition hasn't been smooth. The stock market punished Meta hard in 2022, with shares dropping over 70%. Investors questioned whether the metaverse was really the future or just an expensive distraction. Meta laid off over 11,000 employees, 11% of their workforce, in one of the tech industry's largest layoffs. Critics mocked Zuckerberg's avatar in the metaverse for looking cartoonish and lifeless. Competitors, like Apple, entered the space with their own Vision Pro headset, threatening Meta's lead. The question everyone was asking, is the metaverse really the future, or is Zuckerberg leading his company off a cliff? But here's the thing about Mark Zuckerberg. He's always played the long game. When he bought Instagram, people called him crazy. When he spent $19 billion on WhatsApp, they said he'd lost his mind. But those crazy bets paid off massively. Today, Meta's family of apps serves over 3 billion people. That's nearly 40% of the entire human population. Their platforms generate over $100 billion in annual revenue. Despite all the controversies, all the challenges, all the competition, Meta remains one of the most powerful companies on Earth. The metaverse might take another decade to fully materialize. It might fail completely. But one thing's for certain, Mark Zuckerberg isn't backing down. He's betting the company and his legacy on this vision of the future. Whether you love him or hate him, whether you're excited about the metaverse or think it's dystopian, you can't deny this story is absolutely fascinating. From a college dorm room to connecting 3 billion people to building virtual worlds, the Meta story is far from over. What do you think? Is the metaverse the future, or is Meta making a massive mistake? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button and subscribe for more tech stories that'll blow your mind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.